day, folks, and welcome to another edition of the Inside Santa Fe Public Schools podcast. I am Joe Abeta, and today we have a treat for you, folks. Our guests today are Neal Weaver, the Santa Fe Public Schools Chief Information and Strategy Officer, and Katie Grunewald, the Innovation Coordinator for Santa Fe Public Schools. How are you guys doing today?
Good. Excited for the conversation.
Yeah.
Doing well. Thank you.
Yeah, and we're here today, folks. We're here today to talk about AI, artificial intelligence in Santa Fe Public Schools, how it is in our daily lives now currently, but how we plan on incorporating it into the curriculum, bringing it into Santa Fe Public Schools and embracing it and using it as an educational tool. So thank you guys for coming on. I got to first start by saying that it's we've had a couple of classes on AI, and I have to. It's a great class that you put on for staff, and I want to thank you for that because it gave us a little bit more of it's not around the corner; it's here, right?
That's right. It is here. Joe, you bring up a good point. AI is in our lives every day.
Yeah.
We use it whether we know it or not. Mm-hmm. When you use the map on your phone, or if you have any type of autonomous features in your vehicle, self-driving, or steering correct, all of that is powered by AI, and it's in our banking systems for fraud protection. It's in many industries. It's almost ubiquitous, and the use of AI is expanding, and we're excited to see where AI will go within our schools to help support more effective learning, more effective teaching practices, and even around productivity for our teachers. So we know that our teachers are overworked and do a ton of planning outside of the school day, and AI can really increase the efficiency of the work that our teachers are doing, and we're really excited to help open those doors for all of our staff and especially for our students.
Now with that, and I know you guys have explained this to us very well during our the presentation that you did give us, two-part presentation. Where does an educational institute start into introducing AI into the schools?
Joe, that's a great question. And Santa Fe Public Schools we're really taking the time to look at how AI needs to be rolled out so that it's effective, right? We are looking at a 2-year plan around the integration of artificial intelligence. And one of the things that the superintendent and the deputy superintendent in charge of teaching and learning, Vanessa Romero, and myself have really focused in on is that we need to start with administration within the school district. So this isn't a top-down where we're coming in and we're telling teachers, you're going to learn about artificial intelligence. We're learning about it. So you indicated that our cabinet and our instructional cabinet, the leaders within our district, went through a 2-day intensive program learning about what AI is and beginning to have those conversations around how will it look? How will we roll it out? What are the good things that we can experience in AI, and what do we need to watch out for? And really looking at how we're using it already and trying to not stifle that use, but put some guardrails in place so that teachers understand effective use, but also to help those teachers who are not using it for educational purposes understand the implications and the real possibilities of artificial intelligence. But I'm going to go back to the fact that this is a 2-year plan, and we're starting by teaching our cabinet members first. And then this week, we started working with principals, and that will continue on through the school year. We have a great group in our digital learning coaches who will help support this. So it's not a one and done, we're going to train you up on this, and then we're going to walk away. We're here to support you every step of the way for the rest of this school year and even into next school year. Katie is one of the newest parts of our digital learning team, and her primary role now is thinking about the thoughtful integration of artificial intelligence within our schools. So much of this plan is Katie's brainchild, and we are excited to see how Santa Fe Public Schools really progresses with the integration of AI over 2 years.
Katie, with that, what has been your what do you feel like is the biggest hurdle that you've come across? Incorporating AI with into the curriculum, talking to the teachers. What has been the biggest hurdle for you?
Well, I think starting off, one of the challenges that we face anytime in educational technology is this idea of like something coming in, it's something new, it's being done to teachers, but really looking at, and what I think motivates me is whether it's AI or other ed tech things that we're looking at, how is that tying into like our vision and our mission for the district, our goals that we have for students, for educators, and really identifying those places where AI can enhance and support that. And I think with AI specifically, we're looking at a lot of misconceptions around what it is, how students are already using it. I mean, cheating is a reality in our schools, but also we have practices and procedures and really strong learning cultures that tie into academic integrity. One thing we'll be focusing on a lot this year is building capacity of our adult learners and our students on what we call AI literacy. So not only understanding how to use AI, but understanding how AI works. So putting in those foundational pieces to have bring everybody on board and to really have a space for educators, for community stakeholders, for students to voice concerns, to address misconceptions.
I found with the AI seminar that you did give us, I really thought it was really cool. You guys had a chart. It was from 0 to 6, 0 to 5. And it really was the levels of AI if you're giving an assignment to students saying we're not using, from 0 saying you're not using any AI for this, or 1, you're using a certain percentage of AI for this. And it just went on down the line. And I thought it was a very great way, a path to using AI responsibly and to bringing it in, and footnoting that, hey, in this section here, we used AI, or here's a complete analysis of my paper. And this right here was thought by me. And this part here, AI helped me out here. And I thought that was a very responsible way of going about doing it, that it's not necessarily a way of cheating, but it's a way of, this is how I present my work. It's no different than looking in an Encyclopedia Britannica and putting a footnote in saying, I got this quote from this part of the book, right?
Joe, you're exactly right. The way we look at AI is a thought partner, and you brought up a great point. It's no different.
I like that thought partner. That's a good one.
Yeah, the end outcome is that you are obtaining information from another source.
Yes.
Just like you said with an encyclopedia. What's different about AI is that it can help our students, it can help our teachers maybe think about things that they might not have thought about. But the important part of what you just said is that list, that indication of how I'm using AI, 0 through 5. That chart, exactly. That helps our teachers to understand how they need to communicate around AI with our students. There are many of our students who are using AI right now. And until our teachers understand that they need to set the guidelines, the guardrails, and the expectations of if, how, and when it can and cannot be used. Because just like with any technology, there are appropriate times to use AI, and there will be times where it's appropriate not to use AI.
Yeah.
And I think that one of the issues that we'll deal with is that many times as a group, as an environment, we may go straight for the students are going to use this to cheat. Our thoughts may go straight there. But what we really need to do is figure out how we can help support students in understanding that this is an incredibly valuable tool that they're using now, number one, in their regular lives. That number two will support their education now and in the future. And number three, it is everywhere in business right now. So when our students enter the workforce, they will need the skills of being able to harness the power of artificial intelligence.
Yeah. And with that, Katie, what do you feel? I mean, as far as, do you guys have a timeline for this as far as incorporating into the schools? What, into training the teachers, training the students? Do you guys have a timeline?
Yeah, I think Neal had referenced kind of our 2-year plan that we're working with. And I think that scale of AI use is a great connector. And it also highlights another part of our 2-year plan, which that scale, I have to give credit to, that came from some amazing educators out of North Carolina and their Department of Education. And it's included now in our initial draft AI guidance document that we're providing. And so that kind of highlights one of our key parts of our AI roadmap for the next 2 years of not only like providing that support and guidance for teachers, but also having those external collaborations. We're thinking of our roadmap in kind of these categories of stakeholder engagement. How are we bringing people in? Strategic planning, professional development for our educators, and then those external collaborations. Because I think one of the things that excites me so much about my role is being able to really engage our Santa Fe community, but then also maintaining those external collaborations, whether it's with educators in different states, COSIN, which is the Consortium for School Networking, ISTE, and using these resources to both inform our practice and still make sure that we are responsive to our learning communities here in Santa Fe, which ties into like, what does the training for teachers look like? What does that support look like?
Did it get here too fast? You know what I'm saying? Like to this point, because like, is it something, because usually you have some time to plan before something is set out, but it's here, it feels like. And then now is there a lot of school districts that are in the nation that are, or even in the world that have gotten a hold on what's there, have the guidelines in plan and, and have incorporated in successfully? There's not a lot, right? Because it came pretty quickly.
Yeah. Joe, you bring up a great point. And I think that just to piggyback off of what Katie just said, we're not doing this in isolation. We're looking at national organizations that have put guidance together around artificial intelligence. To answer your question about are we doing this too quickly, or looking at other school districts, it is my belief that we are, when we put this plan together and when we start rolling it out, and I say when we do, but we're already in the midst of this, we're going to be one of the leading school districts.
That's awesome.
In the state, in the region, and likely nationally. So I have the ability to talk with a group of CTOs and technology leaders across the nation every Friday afternoon on a phone call. And just in those conversations, we talk about artificial intelligence quite a bit. There are many school districts who are moving forward, but there are many more school districts who are kind of sitting back to wait to see what happens.
Gotcha.
So the question is, do we want to be one of the leaders in the country who puts together a great plan and understands that it's a fluid plan?
Yes.
It will change. The plan that we have spelled out today, Katie and her team will adjust that as new things come together. This is the nature of technology. It comes so quickly that it's almost less about the technology, Joe, than it is about our district's ability to adjust and, if you will, welcome that technology so that our students and our teachers are using it.
So I was just thinking about this when we're going back and forth here, and I'm thinking about if we have a grandmother or grandparents listening to this, or aunts and uncles, and they're wondering, kind of like having to explain the cloud to them, right? Like, where is the picture? Well, they're in the cloud. Well, I don't see them. They look up, in the sky. But can you give me an example of what AI would be used by a student in their daily curriculum? If you can just kind of go over that for me.
So I've got a great example of a platform we're already using with some of our youngest learners in our elementary schools. It's Amira, and we know literacy is a central focus throughout the state of New Mexico. And what Amira is it's an oral reading fluency assessment. So what that means basically is that when we talk about AI systems, you might hear like large language model, text, chatbot, multimodal. And so what Amira is, the mode or the way students interact with it is through voice.
Okay.
So this platform has the ability to listen to students. Students are reading to it based on the text on a screen. Mm-hmm. And then the AI tool can give students feedback and tutoring right away. So not only can it keep running records, like I'm sure all of the elementary school teachers out there or parents might have seen things, reports on that. And so a tool like Amira, it is specifically created for the K-12 space. So there automatically we have issues such as security, privacy are taken into account, and it is created with the specific end users in mind to support teachers. We know our educators are highly trained at providing that feedback for students, but when you have 20 plus students in a classroom, how can we best use teacher and students' time to make teachers the most effective educators they can be and to have that one-on-one feedback for students?
So it's kind of like, would it be a reading coach? I mean, in the sense of, we see that may have some issues with this word. You're struggling pronouncing the word. I know when I was a kid, I remember this. My word was animal. A hard time when I saw it, right? Don't have any issues with it now, but so then it would take like a word or some words that it seemed, and then it would put it again, and it'd work out repetitive things to read till you finally get it and you understand it. That's pretty amazing. Is that kind of it in a nutshell?
Exactly.
All right, that's pretty awesome. And math too, I would assume. I mean, they have probably applications for that too as well in different subjects.
Well, and one of the things we're working on this year as far as kind of that balance between we want to be responsive to the changes, but we also balance innovation and safety and security of our students because we are a K-12 district, right?
Yes.
We have to be really responsible and intentional.
So with that, and we talked about this in our group discussion that we had after the different exercises that you guys had given us. When do we start to incorporate AI into the curriculum? Are we having pre-K, kindergartners? Because we had talked about this, is like the kindergartners that have been using it from all the way up to 9th grade, they'll be experts in using AI and being able to harness that tool, right? A lot more than, say, the 9th grader that just gets it and starts the curriculum and is only using it it's under Santa Fe Public Schools from the high school, right? But then the kindergartner that's been using it all the way through their time with Santa Fe Public Schools is going to be a pro by the time that they're, up in high school. So but that's assuming, and I'm not trying to answer the question, but when do you incorporate it? When are you looking at in the plan of incorporating AI into for grades?
I think that's one of those factors that we'll continue to look at.
Okay.
However, with that said, we understand that our students are using AI at every grade level.
Okay.
I want to clarify what I mean by using. So Katie just described that AI is built into Amira.
Yes.
So our students...
And Amira is a software, right?
Amira is a software that the
software.
school district already uses. And,
Okay.
and as Katie explained, it's for literacy. So our students are already using AI in a sort of a plug-in model, if you will.
Gotcha.
It's part of the software that they're using.
Yeah.
So we believe that for students in grades K through 6 at this moment, that there will be uses of AI like we just described, and that teachers will begin to talk about AI in their technology classes for students in grades K through 6. But we will not have students on our campuses actively going out to AI tools like ChatGPT in grades K through 6.
Yeah.
Once students get to 7th grade, we believe that there will be active use like I just described. Students are using AI as a thought partner for helping them to write papers. Not to write papers for them, but can you provide an outline based on X, Y, and Z, and then that acts, the output that you get from AI acts as, again, to say this a lot, a thought partner to help the student then begin to formulate their essay or their paragraphs or their sentences, whatever it is they're working on. So I'm sorry, back to your question.
Yeah.
For grades K through 6, students will be using it, but not in a direct manner.
Gotcha.
Grades 7 plus, we believe that there will be more active direct use of AI, but it may be within tools such as Chat for Schools, Chat for Schools, which is a tool that provides a sort of a walled garden access to a Chat GPT.
Yeah.
So it's just like our instance of email for students. It is controlled. It is on our network. We have the ability to make sure that student data is safe. So with Chat for Schools, that is just one option that we're looking at for our older students to use.
Gotcha. Okay, so it's kind of like you have a bike with training wheels.
Exactly right.
You take the training wheels off and you go to the 1-speed bike, and then by the time they get to high school, they're on a 10-speed.
That's correct.
Okay.
And
for those who don't know, 10-speed, I might be dating myself, right? a mountain bike.
Now it's the electric bike.
There you go, the electric bike,
go. Yeah. And just so that we're very clear, again, this is over a 2-year process. So this next year, our primary focus will be on helping our teachers, our parents, our community, and our students understand what the tool is and what are the uses and what should not be the uses for AI. Moving into next school year, 25-26, that's when we'll really start to see AI being implemented as a support, as a primary support in some cases for best practice teaching and learning. But we don't want to discourage the use when teachers are using it already.
Yeah.
We do want to provide some basic guidelines so that they understand there are student safety implications. There are implications around how students use it. We need to be aware that students can use it to cheat, just like they could use your encyclopedia to cheat.
Yeah.
Right? We
or their class notes during a test.
That's right. You're absolutely right.
Yeah. No, that's great. That's awesome. So I guess my last question to you, because we need to wrap it up here. What is your AI headline for SFPS a year from now? Both of you. Katie?
So I love a semicolon and a subheading, but I kept it short for this one because I was looking at within my role and how my role can contribute to our district. My headline is building the future of learning together. And I think the most important word in there is together.
Yeah.
Because this happens in our community.
Yeah. No, that's great. I like that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Joe, before I give you my headline, I've just got to say one more thing. Anybody who's listening, we want to thank the community for their support of Santa Fe Public Schools, and specifically with my department. The Education Technology Note is so important in helping support the technology that drives student learning today. The world of learning is so far different and so far removed than when I went to high school, right? And technology is an integral part of best practice teaching and learning. So thank you to the community for supporting ETN.
Well, and I think it's also a reflection it's a result, right, of the funding that you're getting for your department. I see it when I go over there, the staff, and by you looking out for the community as to what's out there and making sure that we bring it into the education system so future community members, they know technology, and this is part of it, right, of learning AI. You guys are on top of it, which is pretty amazing. It was really impressive to see your staff and everything you guys are doing to make sure that we are we're the lead, one of the leads in the nation for technology in our schools. So thank you for that.
You got it. The last thing I'll say before I get to my headline is I have one of the best teams. I have the best team working for me that I've ever had in my professional career. Yeah. And I don't say that lightly, and I really mean it. So Katie and the rest of my team are absolutely they're incredible. And without them, I think Santa Fe Public Schools would be in a much different place. So thank you to my team. And I'll wrap this up by saying my headline for AI in 2 years would be that AI has helped support the teaching and learning process for all Santa Fe Public Schools.
That's a good one. Yeah, I believe that it'll be there for sure. Thank you guys so much for coming on today. I'd love to have you. We should do this. I'd love to get an update. It'd be awesome. And definitely a year from now, we can say, hey, remember that, our podcast from a year ago? What's the progress been? Kind of measure it out.
That sounds perfect.
It'd be great. Thank you guys so much. Folks, thank you for listening. Have a safe week. Have a great week. Adios.